The Shadow Patients. The abandoned Willowbrook Asylum stood silent under the pale glow of the full moon, its broken windows like empty eye sockets staring into the night. Journalist Daniel Carter adjusted his camera, the red recording light cutting through the thick dust as he pushed open the rusted front gates. The air smelled of mildew and something fouler, something alive. His boots crunched over shattered glass as he entered the electroshock therapy room. The chair still had its leather restraints, cracked and brittle with age. Then, a whisper ***. Not the wind. Words. Help us. Daniel spun, his flashlight beam slicing through the darkness. Nothing. But the patient records he found next told a different story. Names like Subject 12 and Experiment 7 filled the pages, alongside photos of hollow-eyed men and women. His blood turned to ice. He recognized them. The shadows in the hallway twitched. Figures flickered at the edges of his vision, a woman in a torn gown here, a man with a shaved head there, all matching the photos. His camera captured nothing but empty air. Then came the voice from the padded cell. A rasp, like dry paper rubbing together. Daniel. It was his name. And the voice, he'd just heard it on the recording. Subject 12's voice. The door slammed shut behind him. The flashlight died. And in the blackness, something reached out. The crying nurse. The clock struck 3:03 a.m. when the sobbing began. Documentary filmmaker Lisa Chen froze mid-step in the abandoned hallway of Blackwood Sanatorium, her breath fogging in the sudden chill. The sound came from below, wet, ragged weeping that echoed up through the morgue's ventilation grate. Her camera's night vision cast the world in eerie green as she descended. The stainless steel tables stood empty. Yet the crying grew louder near drawer number 7. Lisa's trembling fingers pulled the handle, revealing not a corpse, but a nurse's journal from 1972. The pages told of a mercy angel, Nurse Eleanor Graves, who'd released 23 patients from their pain, permanently. A drop of water hit Lisa's neck. Then another. She looked up. Dripping from the ceiling tiles hung a woman in a 1970s nurse's uniform, her waterlogged skin peeling like wet paper. The ghost's hollow eyes locked onto Lisa as she floated down, pressing a rusted scalpel into Lisa's palm. The blade thrummed with terrible memories, flashes of screaming patients, of pillows held too long over faces. Then ice-cold fingers guided Lisa's hand upward, toward her own throat. The camera captured everything until the battery died. When rescuers found Lisa at dawn, she was curled in drawer number 7, whispering Nurse Graves' final journal entry. **, sometimes the kindest cut is the deepest. **. The door that shouldn't open. The welded steel door gleamed dully in the beam of urban explorer Mark Rivas' flashlight. 3 thick padlocks, cut years ago by vandals, hung uselessly from twisted chains. The words, "Absolutely No Entry," remained visible beneath decades of grime, the red paint now faded to the color of old blood. Mark's crowbar shrieked as it broke the seal. The basement air smelled like copper and spoiled meat. His camera's LED revealed a nightmare, rusted manacles bolted to dripping walls, a floor thick with what might have been bones or rotted mattresses. Then the glitches started, his viewfinder showed shapes moving just beyond the light's edge, crawling with insectal jerks toward him. But when he looked up, nothing. A metallic click echoed through the chamber. The door slammed shut behind him. Darkness swallowed everything. The camera died with a pathetic whine. In the perfect black, something dry and many-jointed brushed Mark's ankle. Then the scratching began, not just from the walls now, but the ceiling too, getting closer with every ragged breath. When the rescue team finally broke through, they found the camera still recording. The last frame showed Mark's face pressed against the door's interior side, his mouth stretched in a silent scream as dozens of pale hands pulled him back into the dark. The mirror game. The reflection ward's walls were lined with shattered mirrors, each fragment throwing back distorted versions of paranormal investigator Sarah Way. Her flashlight beam caught an old patient logbook, its pages brittle as autumn leaves. The final entry made her blood run cold. Day 17, I finally won the game. The mirror me gets to leave now. Sarah scoffed, until her reflection blinked. Without moving. The glass rippled like water as her doppelganger stepped closer, pressing a palm against the inside surface. Sarah stumbled back, but the mirror version mimicked nothing now. It tilted its head, smiling with teeth too sharp, eyes too wide. A whisper slithered from every broken fragment at once. Tag. You're it. Sarah woke screaming. Cool linoleum pressed against her cheek. The ward stood empty, morning light streaming through broken windows. Relief flooded her, until she saw herself walk past the doorway, carrying Sarah's abandoned camera. She pounded on the glass, but the figure never turned. The last thing Sarah saw was her own face smirking back through the lens as she closed the ward door forever. The director's cut. The projector's flickering light cut through the asylum's film room like a dying pulse. Urban explorer Jake Torres wiped dust from the reels labeled Treatment Archives, property of Dr. Vogel, his camera capturing every spine-chilling frame. Black and white footage showed patients strapped to operating tables, their screams silent as scalpels plunged toward exposed brains. Jake's stomach turned, until the film stuttered. A masked surgeon turned toward the camera, his blood-stained gloves raising in a slow wave, directly at Jake. Rewatching his own footage later, Jake's blood turned to ice. There, in the corner of the electroshock room he'd explored alone, stood the same masked figure, observing him from the shadows. Every location Jake visited afterward, the silent watcher appeared in his blind spots, always closer. The final reel screeched in the projector. Jake's own face filled the screen, his eyes wide with terror on an operating table. The masked surgeon leaned into frame, scalpel glinting as vintage film grain dissolved into Jake's live camera feed, now showing the empty asylum hallway behind him, and the squeak of approaching rubber soles.